As Ghana commemorates this year's World Day Against Child Labour, Friends of Nation, a social environmental civil society organization, has called on the Fisheries Commission to urgently accelerate the implementation of the Anti-Child Labour and Child Trafficking in Fisheries Policy.
Now, speaking at a media interaction to mark the day in Sekondi, the Executive Director of Friends of the Nation, Doncris Mavuta, said Ghana risks further downgrading in its current Tier 2 child trafficking ranking. Hence, the 2017 adopted Anti-Child Labour and Child Trafficking in Fisheries Policy Document must be implemented now.
Although Ghana is said to have made a minimal advancement in effort to eliminate the worst forms of child labor in 2019, children in Ghana continue to engage in worst forms of child labor, including fishing and working in cocoa farms. It is for this reason this year's World Day Against Child Labour focuses on action taken for 2021 to be dedicated as an international year for the elimination of child labor. Speaking on the findings made by the International Labour Organization at a media interaction in Sekondi, the Executive Director of Friends of the Nation, Doncris Mavuta, highlighted the areas of concern with child labor and child trafficking in Ghana and the need for the 2017 adopted Anti-CLaT policy to be implemented.
Children as young as age 4 are subjected to forced labor in fishing in the areas around Lake Volta, sometimes as a result of human trafficking. Children also use sharp tools and are exposed to agrochemicals while working in the cocoa sector. In addition, girls as young as 13 from rural northern regions of Ghana travel to urban centers to work as Agyei, female porters, carrying heavy loads on their heads in markets and are particularly vulnerable to sexual abuse and exploitation. A child's secure future is potentially the elderly's secured future. We would want on this day to call on the Fisheries Commission to urgently implement the Anti-Child Labour and Trafficking in Fisheries Policy Document developed by Friends of the Nation and other partners and adopted by the Commission in 2017. Additionally, we would encourage Metropolitan, Municipal and District Assemblies to, at the time that they are designing their MTTPs, to incorporate anti-CLaT issues in these plans 2022 to 2026.
Doncris Mavuta further called for redefinition and discussion on child labor based on the Ghanaian setting and the international threat of banning Ghana's cocoa.
The threat of banning cocoa because of child labor is contentious and needs to be discussed along the lines of whether it's child's work or child labor. And all over the years, historically, children have supported parents in farming. But it goes into child labor and hazardous work when children are exposed to use sharp equipment that can get them injured, or exposed to chemical farming, which will be hazardous to their health. So there must be a clear understanding of the two. But you cannot say children's involvement in cocoa to support parents is child labor.
Kwesi Johnson, who is the Friends of the Nation Anti-Child Labour and Child Trafficking Officer, told City News other specifics Ghana must do to avoid poor anti-child labour and child trafficking ranking.
Currently, Ghana is on Tier 2 of the trafficking in persons trafficking persons list, and which is a U.S. State Department has got instrument which is accepted globally as the yardstick for looking at trends. Tier 2 is okay, but we can't say we are in Tier 2, so let's not strive to go to Tier 1 one day. It will be difficult. Look at the social economic situations at the country. But we are still on the brinks if you look at the social economic situation in Ghana. So for us not to ever slip to Tier 2 watch list again, as we did in 2016, and face possible sanctions if we had remained there for 3 consecutive years, we recommend that the state agencies improve services to both the source communities and the destination community.